All right, another problem with their instructions. Man, I'm sorry guys, I didn't know this video was going to turn like this, but I guess it's going to be a brutally honest video on the install. Hey gang, Sean here with Sean and Don Ventures. I'm here to talk to you about my new CBI Offroad full armor skid plate, aluminum skid plate, which is powder coated. So first off, this video is not sponsored at all. I paid full price for this skid plate. I thought it would be a good idea to see unpacking it, see how easy it is to install for the beginner, which is me, hobbyist on this. And then if there's any tips that I find, I'll share them along here. So with that, if you're wondering what this is my 2012 TRD Tacoma Sport. It's been fully converted, as you can see here. If you want to know more about this truck, I'll post the end video. I'll make it the first build of this truck here. You can kind of hear about the truck build there. That said, I have several builds on this truck, so you might want to go through my channel and see what other things that might have on this truck specifically if you're interested in that. And if you're interested in my channel, and if you don't know, my wife Dawn and I, we travel all over the PNW, and we just kind of share our stories. We kind of share them in a van, a truck, our trailer, whatever we're doing, share our stories. We do education videos like this on things that we find important, just to try to help inspire people that are out there. Now with that, let's talk about the details of this before we start unpacking it. So it's the full aluminum skid plate, 2005 to 2022 model there. Aluminum powder coat costs extra, right? It's got a lifetime warranty, which is good because it's expensive. Costs $1,520. There was a discount of $76 I got, and then there was a flat rate charge destination to here, $225. If we add the tax to all of that, it came out to about $1,815 to be delivered here. Delivered on a pallet, came in, no big deal. Why did I decide that I want to add skid plate? Well, first off, if I built my truck like this, I really wanted to protect it. We were recently on the BDR section of one of our areas, and as I was going through certain obstacles, I was like, it's dumb, I haven't prioritized this skid plate over some other things I've done. So I'm going to correct that mistake now. Let's see if I can get a little bit dirty here, and we'll do unboxing. All right, the sun's getting out. I might have to reposition the camera a couple times here. I'm going to speed this up as we go, but we'll see if we have any instructions first. Just a packing slip, nothing special. All right. First off, this is light. Light. I don't know the official weight on that, but maybe 20 pounds? Maybe? All right, one more bolt here, and it looks like we got some parts in there. Let's get this. Also very light. Yeah, really nice. Okay. All right. Here's going to be my first little bitch. CBI, first off, it is beautiful powder coated, but there's no instructions. Clearly there's a process, there's bolts and everything to be done here. Zero instructions. Now I get trying to conserve paper, but it's as simple as putting a little card in here with a QR code and said, here's the instructions for installing this. So once again, this is why I'm making the video. I'll share some of this stuff with people as I go. So now I have to stop what I'm doing, go get on the computer, figure out what the instructions are, but they could have just gave me a QR code to go right to them. It's not that hard. Let's do better with that. But once again, I love this. It looks beautiful, so I'm excited to get it on. Hence why I wish I had the instructions right now. All right, see here? Look at all these options. They do have installation guides online, but there's so many options and they're not exact. So I don't even see my exact one in here. So I'm gonna have to piece it together. So once again, if you kind of customize the experience for your customers based off the order type and you know what they're fitting it to and just give them the QR codes for that, it would go a long way. Just saying. So let's see if I can't figure this out.
Like your CBI Offroad, they were going to be installing our...
All right, gang, let's see where we left off now. So a couple things here. This is the part that I think manufacturers need to think that we are hobbyists that are trying to do this body of work. And once again, so we didn't have the instructions. Furthermore, on the instructions that we found online, it says for 2016 to 2022 Toyota Tacoma full armor. However, there is nothing for my build. So it would be confusing to someone. I had to come back and look, and mine says 2005 to current from them. So my assumption is that the entire, whatever model you have, 2005 till present day, would work. But if you had it clear or if you provided the link to it, I wouldn't be guessing. Furthermore, what's a little bummer is, once again, hobby enthusiasts, I'm not trying to be a downer on you guys here, but hobby enthusiasts, we don't always know everything that you know, right? So you already removed the factory skid plate and you say remove the factory skid plate, right? And then remove these arms. We've already done it. Well, people don't know what that is sometimes, right? So we're going to do the factory skid plate right now, but for those that don't know, let's look. So here we are down here. So we have these bolts to remove. There's some back here, right? And then a bracket here, the deal. And then there's a cross arm, I believe, that I have to remove once I get in there. But let me do this and then we'll get back after this in a second. All right, so it looks like it's a 12 millimeter that I have to take out here. Well, maybe 12 in the front and 13 in the back, actually. And I think I'm supposed to retain these. So once again, there's a little lip here that it's caught on. So I think I'm okay. Where's is that 13 on the rear. So 12 millimeter and 13 millimeter. And there's a nut up here that I'm not quite sure if it's welded or not, so we'll see. I believe that's supposed to be retained. There's some spacers there. All right, so that part's done. There's more I have to do though. I have to rewatch the video because there's something else I'm supposed to take out. I think it might be this bracket here. But once again, I wish they would have filmed all of that. So let me watch the video again, see if I can figure out what they were talking about, because I had to get my skid plate off. More to come. All right, so according to the video, and these are the brackets I already had removed, I believe it's this bracket here that needs to be removed, and this black bracket here that needs to be removed. Right, you can kind of see what's on the back side there. They say to retain them all because we're going to need them later, and they said the hook at the end you can retain depending on your setup. Well, I have a loop, so once again we'll figure it out. I'm going to take those brackets off. I'm supposed to retain them, so I'm going to do that. We'll see how we do. I had to go get a breaker bar to get these loose. All right, that piece is done. Let me see what the instructions say next here. I'll bring you along here in a second. But fairly simple once I got the breaker bar out and got them loosened up. Assuming I took off the right thing, which I think I did. So more to come. So I had to go watch the video a couple times because it said there were some braces, and I believe that came from here to here because that's where one piece is going over by this brake line area here. And I don't have those braces. So that's confusing, right? And I'm pretty positive I just don't have them on this build. So clarification, 2012 TRD Sport, maybe it doesn't have that extra bracing. Not sure yet. We'll verify this as we put this together. Once again, devil's in the details and this kind of stuff. So let me try to go watch the video and see what's next after this. All right, let's see here. It does say this in the instruction, but the lights are kind of bad. Their lighting in their video is really hard because they're in a garage, and so it's really dark under the vehicle here. So this is the brake line in the back here connector, and this little tab right here needs to come off. So in the video they grinded it off, or they said you can loosen it up and then pull it out and bend it up, and I think that's what I'm going to do right now. It's 12 millimeter, so let's do that. Sorry, I put my hand in there. Let's do that first. Will this all fit? Apparently there's a bracket that comes underneath it. This chuck's giving me problems. Woo. I think it's going to be less of a hassle to grind it off. I'll be back. Kind of nerve-wracking, by the way. All right, that's cut. Let me put that stuff away. And I think it's time to start putting things together. All right, it doesn't say to remove these because they come shipped in, but on the video it shows them removed. So I'm going to take them off because it looks like it's going to make it for an easier install. One thing that's kind of confusing is on mine, I have these spacers here that came with it. When I took off those brackets that said originally, the spacer in the front. Well, if you look here, and it was kind of hard to see, you see how there's a gap there? Let's get it flush. See how there's a gap there? Well, my assumption is I need to use that spacer. However, that spacer is a little thicker than that gap. So I'm going to play around with it and see what happens here. More to come. Verdict's in, no spacer, because that spacer with the factory bolt is too small with the plate. So that's how I made that assumption. So I got to put these back ones in, and I want them all nice and loose. What is this tight fit underneath here? Tight fit. All right, let's do that. This is what's throwing me off. One of these bolts is threaded all the way, and one of the bolts is smooth halfway. And I think that's because of how the bracket was on before it. But that's not going to work. I really don't want to go to the store. But we're going to try it. All right, another problem with their instructions. Man, I'm sorry guys, I didn't know this video was going to turn like this, but I guess it's going to be a brutally honest video on the install. So there's a cross plate that's going to go across here where I cut this off and this off back here, and that cross piece is supposed to have a nut and a bolt to go in here, and then there's already a bolt welded on the other side here. Well, I'm assuming the one that's labeled T3 bag with these two parts are the ones, but there's no bolt. And a diagram, guys, goes a long way, a really long way, knowing what you have and where it needs to go. I mean, IKEA can do it, and we know how annoying that crap is. So now I have to go back and rewatch the video again and see if I'm missing something, but clearly these instructions, even with the video, need a lot of work, unless you just instantaneously know how to do this. And I don't think that's what they're selling this for. So, bummer. I'm gonna go figure this out. More to come. All right, so I've watched this video several times here, and I think there's a mistake in the video. So there was a package of bolts with washers here, larger washers actually, like this, that said T3 front. In the video, he talks about reusing all the factory gear on the front skid plate. So on the rear ones where they're the 12 millimeters, he goes, you reuse the originals. And that's the one where I'm like, this is really weird. It has one of them is fully threaded and one is partially threaded. So I felt like it was a mistake. Then I came back and I put everything together because I can't find also for the next part here a bolt washer and a nut combination that was in the right bag. In the main rear skid plate bag, the big one, they had all these parts. So what I think is wrong, we'll confirm this out there, is that you are using new replacement nuts and washers in the front, and then you do have a bolt to use for the side that on the, this is for the brake line side, the longer one for the brake line side. This would be the one for the non-brake line side. We'll go outside, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure their instructions are wrong. The video instructions are wrong, and this is why like a schematic really helps people a lot. I know it might be a pain in the butt to put together from a manufacturer standpoint, but if you think about how much calls you have or reduced calls on questions on things, it's money well spent. And it can all be online too. That said, I love your products. I don't want to bash them. So we're going to go out here and try this and see if I'm right. All right, I've already tested one of these and it works. So we're going to put that back in there. See, that seems to be the working thing. So now we're gonna have to get this cross section and mount it. I'm gonna show you what happens here outside, and then I'll come install it here. All right, so this piece on the video goes down. This is the side that's gonna go to where that brake line is, where I cut it, and one bolt in. It has a nut already on the other side. On this side, this is going to go into a hole that's already there, one nut and a washer on the other side. That's what I couldn't find over here. And then the other plate is going to use these holes for a carriage plate, or a carriage bolt, to get it all secured. So we'll go get this loosely put up there, and then I'll show you how the rest goes together. All right, they say to leave those loose. I'm gonna go get a wrench to tighten them up a little bit more, and then we're gonna start with the next part, the skid plate with those carriage bolts. And I'm gonna do my best to just kind of have it record up. I'm gonna have to get some help from a friend. I'm gonna go get a friend, super friend, and hopefully we get this installed pretty quick.
Oh man, the wind's taking away my camera time.
Yeah, look at that. There's like, you're not, you don't get seen, Donald. Here, we'll do a little anchor. All right, all right, all right. All right, next up is to tighten it all up and then put those caps on that I took off for the access holes. I'm not gonna film that. We're just gonna recap at the end. Lessons learned, and just my final opinion and thoughts on this. So let me get after this, and we'll see you in a bit. Oh, and it's a 15 millimeter. They get all those hard to reach ones, so wish me luck. All right. Well, that's going to do it, gang. My final thought is the fit and finish of this is great, which is what you would expect with this. I purposely did not look at the instructions before that were online because I wanted to kind of see how it was shipped to us and actually just try it myself and see from someone who's a hobbyist, could I do it? Could I do it without a lift? Can I do it in my yard? Just with some, I use my Max Tracks. I have two pairs. One's 2 pairs for the truck, 2 pairs for my van. So I was able to get a stack of 4, and that seemed to be okay. Using a smooth mover underneath might be a little too tight under that space. If you had a lift, it'd be really easy. My only real complaint, and it's, you know, you guys are a small business, so I get it. I know it's hard to keep up and juggle all this stuff. Is the instructions could use a little bit more, polish. I think a schematic will work really well. Like I have several parts here that are left over from my old rig, which I'm sure I throw away. My skid plate. These arms that in the video said hey, we'll be reusing these, but I don't think you really are. These washers were the only thing that came with your kit that I didn't know where they went. And I watched the video over and over and over again, and I don't see them mentioned anywhere in here besides the other washers that are already in place, so the square washers. That said, I have no regrets, right? Would I buy it again? Yep, 100% I would buy it again. And I think it's a quality product, and I think if you are looking to buy it, get it. If you feel like you could do this kind of install, if you could change your own oil, I think you'd probably do this just fine. There's a few things that might feel a little technical for you, and I'm not a gear turner at all. I'm more of a woodworker, so this is new to me too, and I figured it all out. So with that, gang, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving a like, a comment, and a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Once again, we make videos every week. We release videos of different things out there, just sharing our why. And until next time, gang, I hope we see you on the trails. Peace out.